Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt.
All right, what is up, Utes fans? Oh, I forgot to turn my light on here. It's a little bright. Sorry, I'm a little hyped. And just so you guys know, I am whispering here. My son is asleep one room over, so I might seem a little quiet, but I am just as excited as you guys are. So awesome. Super excited to talk about it. Jack says, let's go. Zenith says, let's freaking go, dude. I feel the same way, dog. Larry says, holy shiz, Kincaid and Phillips and Broughton along with Bailey and Cam. So proud of this team. Let's go. Cam's a beast. I'm with you guys, dude. I'm bro, my wife's family, my wife and her family, they're all from Europe, and they're like watching me watch this game and watching me lose my damn mind and jump up and down and stuff and just looking at me like I'm a crazy person. But damn, dude, what a game. As we get into the video, guys, make sure you like the video, helps get it out to more Utes fans. Comment in the chat there if you guys have any observations, any statements. Larry says he would jump on. Yeah, and I put the link in the chat there if you guys do want to jump on the stream and talk some Utah Utes football. So what a time to be alive. And if you guys haven't already subscribed to the channel, make sure you do. So first thing is, I'm 99% sure this was Cam's best passing game ever. 415 passing yards. Dude, let's zoom in a little bit here. So yeah, 415 passing yards for Cam. Just wildly good. So freaking sick. 2 touchdowns for Cam. And as great as Cam's game was, I think it's overshadowed a little bit by Dalton Kincaid's game. You can see it on the screen there. 16 catches for 234 yards and 1 touchdown. And more than just talking about, Larry says Cam the man. Yeah, for sure, dude. Cam the freaking man. But more than just talking about, how good the stats were, it was like a repeat of the Florida game almost, right? It was our defense just could not get, I mean, not exactly the same game, but it was like our defense could not get it done. Our offense was making it happen, and we had an opportunity there, and it was 4th and goal. When it was 4th and goal at the 1, I'm sure I'm not the only one that was just like, oh, God, please get this. And you felt in your heart, you're like, damn, even if they get this, we got to convert that 2-point conversion. And we were looking good. But it just scared me that we got to the 4th and goal at the 1, and then we get it. We get the 2-point conversion. I love that they just gave it to Cam and told him, go, dude. They were just like, go run that rock, bro. I kept wondering in my head, what are we going to do? What's going to be the play call when we actually get it done, right? So what an awesome game. Clark Phillips as well. I think let's see how the defense, obviously, I'm not going to focus on too much negative here. Check that out, dude. Jordan Addison, two carries, 27 yards. He did have a day receiving, but I mean, I guess the story of the game, we could look at defense, but the story of the game is really that offense. We were going off. Jimmy Emerson says, woohoo. Yeah, baby, I'm with you, dude. Woohoo. We crashed the party, guys. We did it, right? And now everything, that we talked about conference championship, all that stuff is still right in front of us, right? It's going to be a tough road, but I would imagine we're about to jump up pretty damn high in the rankings. I doubt we'll crack the top 10 because we're still a 2-loss team. But we're 20 now, and we just beat the number 7 team in the country. I'm gonna guess we jump up to 13 or 14. So that's pretty awesome in itself. I mean, I'm sure you guys are with me early in that game. Like, I was pretty hyped coming into this game and felt like we matched up really well with them. But as the game got going and our defense started struggling, it was like, no, dude, not again. This can't happen again where they just run through us. And to be fair, for the majority of the game, they were running through us. I mean, the amount of yards that both teams had in this game was just nuts. Yeah, look at this. Jesus. 562 yards for Utah, 556 yards for USC. What a game, dude. I that's got to be up there as one of the highest yards in a game in a Power 5 matchup, at least in the last 5 to 10 years. I mean, that was ridiculous. By halftime, it was just wild. Larry says USC wore down. Yeah, that defense was like, okay at the beginning, like doing pretty decent against our offense. But by the time we got to like the third quarter or whatever of that game, they were just, oh man, they were gassed. Like, I think it was a little before halftime. Obviously, they were running, soft shell defense because it was almost halftime. They were just trying to stop us from getting a huge play, but it was, we were just wearing them down. It was pretty wild. Larry says, Leslie S says, what a game, Utah. I am with you guys. If you guys are just jumping in, the reason I'm kind of whispering here is my son is next door sleeping. He's 2. So I'm just trying not to wake him up. But damn, dude, what a game, guys. What a game. I can't get over it. Like, look at all these great stats from this game. I think a lot of us thought that Tavion would have a much better game, but I think we'd all agree that run defense was significantly better than we thought it was, right? At least, I'll take the L there, that I thought we would be able to run all over these guys. That was not the case, and we were able to throw incredibly well against them. Dude, look at Dalton Kincaid. That one receiver, if you guys watched the Tennessee game today, number 11 was the guy that Hendon Hooker was throwing to, like all of his touchdowns. Oh, Larry, nothing better, dude. Larry says hit that like button. Please do, guys. That goes a long way. But so Hendon Hooker was throwing all of his touchdowns to number 11. If you guys haven't seen that game, go back and watch the highlights. It was nuts. And it seemed like that guy was just getting crazy yards. Dalton Kincaid had more yards than that guy had. It was like every huge touchdown Hendon Hooker threw in the Alabama game was to that number 11 kid. And then Dalton Kincaid, bro. And it's weird with Dalton Kincaid, it's like he's such a big part of our offense that you just expect him to continually get the ball, and we're just going to keep feeding him. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he's just got tons of yards, right? Like, it's just, sometimes it's just how it goes. It's not even like we're force feeding him. He's open. He's part of the offense. Dude, what a freaking stud. I posted it on Twitter, dude. If you are an NFL GM and you do not have Dalton Kincaid in your top 5, and I'd go as far as to say like top 3, you need to hire new scouts, bro. Like, the guy is an animal. He's a solid run blocker, and his receiving ability, I mean, who is a better receiving tight end than Dalton Kincaid? I don't think there is any. I mean, Brock Bowers. Who else, dude? I mean, he was like more than half of Cam's passing yards were to Dalton Kincaid in a 400 plus passing yard game. That's just nuts, dude. Tat says, I was so worried in the beginning. I was too, Tat. I was sitting there like, oh God, no, not again. We're not just gonna get destroyed on defense, and we're gonna get a decent showing on offense, but it's not enough to keep up. And I will say the defense really did not play well for the majority of the game, but there were times, let's be real, there were times where the defense needed to step up, and they did step up a few times. I really felt like that did go. I did notice that they did a good job when it was like, okay, guys, like we're close. We gotta make something happen. It was really that halftime. The fact that we scored right before halftime and we were getting the ball right back, that's kind of what flipped the momentum, dude. I could feel it going into halftime. We had all the momentum in the world. Larry says easy field goal missed and fumble in the red zone. Left points off the board, but we'll take the win. That's a good point, Larry. I felt like we could have probably won that game by a little more. But you know who you got to shout out, dude? Andy Ludwig and Kyle Whittingham. I didn't even think about it because there was 6 minutes left on the clock, right? But as we started driving and I noticed that they're just taking their time every time they snap the ball, I'm like, oh, okay, we're not going to try to let them get the ball back. We are going to try to drain the full 6 minutes. Maybe I'm just ignorant, but that wasn't the obvious game plan to me. I mean, 6 minutes is especially in college, it's a lot. That's a lot of time because the ball stops. It's a lot of time. And then they just slowly, methodically get the ball down the field, just, one play at a time. And then we punch it in and we go for two. You saw it coming after like 2 or 3 plays in the drive. You knew that was the game plan, but I just thought it was awesome that it worked. We got down there and we just got it done. That was so cool. Fabian says Kincaid made himself some serious money tonight. Hell yeah, he did, bro. Kincaid looked fantastic. And I feel like some people are just going to talk about Kincaid and they're not going to talk about how damn good Cam Rising is. I mean, Cam Rising was such a big part of that game. How many rushing yards did Cam Rising have? Yeah, look at that, dude. 60 rushing yards, 415 passing yards, 475 total yards for Cam Rising. And in total, he had 5 touchdowns. So as awesome as Kincaid was, please, guys, don't let it overshadow the game that Cam Rising had. He was Superman with the cape on his back. So was Kincaid, like, for sure. Like, they were a dynamic duo. But I thought that was, like, they were such a good duo. That was, dude, that was like, you guys just feel happy right now. Like, there was just every opportunity. Like, it was just like USC had such a big lead early. And, it really didn't feel good for a minute. But then over time, we just made it happen. Cam looked like one of the best quarterbacks in the country. Matt says, go Utes. Bam. Yeah, man, I'm with you. Go Utes. Tat says, USC quarterback is incredibly cocky. Had to serve him some humble pie. I don't know. He seems like a nice guy. But, yeah, I'm more than happy to serve him some humble pie. And if you guys are just joining in, just so you guys know, the reason I'm whispering is my son is right next door. But if you could, please do like the video, comment, get into the chat, guys. We'll go here for a little while more, have some fun, talk about the game. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. We talk Utah Utes football all the damn time. That's really about all we do. Jack says, got to give props to the D, getting pressure on Caleb when we really needed him. That's how I feel. You took the words out of my mouth, Jack. It's kind of like, yeah, the defense overall did not play well. I'd say played poorly, but when we needed them, they did a good job, and they deserve a lot of credit for that. So Tat says, I'm so happy for our Utah boys. Me too, Tat. Let's turn this music up a little, dude. Let's have some fun in here, dude. If it's too loud, you guys tell me. Here, boom. I just like, I'm just vibing right now. I'm feeling good, dude. Fabian, defense wasn't necessarily good on the second half, but they definitely stepped up. Yeah, for sure. I thought the second half, we actually, that's when we started making stops. I thought the first half, the defense played straight, garbage. But that second half, they stepped up. They made it happen. They didn't play well overall, but, in the moments, in the clutch situations that define the game, they did a good job for sure. DJ and Tay, good to see you. He says, I've never seen a game like this. First game I've seen have a timeout called during the play. Glad it didn't change the outcome. Yeah, that was weird. Do you guys remember that? I think it was before halftime maybe, but there was like in a like it was just penalty after penalty for like 5-6 plays, and it was just ridiculous. It really was a weird one. What a game, the young Leezy says. Yeah, what a game, dude. Tat says Cam is such a stud and an absolute class act. Seriously, guys, I think after this game, hopefully Kincaid doesn't overshadow what Cam did, because Kincaid really stepped up. And I mean, maybe we're even talking about Kincaid in this conversation, but I think there's a real case to be made for Cam in the Heisman conversation. I know that might sound wild, but I mean, you look at the numbers, you look at, like, yeah, we lost to UCLA, dude. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we lost to Florida, for sure. But look at what the defense looked like in those two games, and look who kept us in those games. That was freaking Cam Rising, bro. I think it's insulting to think that he couldn't be in the Heisman conversation. I really think anyone that knows what they're talking about will leave this game and think, damn, why aren't we talking about Cam and the Heisman? We were just talking about Caleb Williams and the Heisman, and I thought Cam overshadowed him for sure. But anyways, the TJ Builder says, Kincaid and Cam are my new heroes. I really wish Keithy could be out there to celebrate with the boys. Oh, man. I mean, imagine if we had Keithy out there, dude, what we would have done to that freaking defense. We would have just torn them apart, bro. The young Lee says, I could tell how much fun you had throughout your voice. Hey, thanks, dude. Well, and just so you know, young Lizzie, my voice is because I'm whispering because my son's next door. But if you mean like just that I'm happy, I am happy, dude. I was so damn happy that we won. Oh, look, we got a hater. Mello Maurice says, congrats to the refs that won this game. Okay, Mello Maurice must be a USC fan. Well, dude, congrats to the USC players that kept cheating and getting penalties. P Solo says, you're high. I'm not. KS says, I wish I went. Atmosphere looked amazing on TV. Go Utes. Yeah, I wasn't there either, but I mean, that you could feel it. You could feel the energy there. You could feel just how awesome it was. Larry says, Hurd saying it wasn't roughing was ridiculous. Last week we got called for a weaker roughing the passer. Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like, yo, this guy's the announcer. Because I agree that I'm not a huge fan. Like, I feel like roughing the passer has become like pretty, like they throw the flag anytime you touch them. But it was like, when you look at what gets called around the league and what we've been called on already this season, that was way worse than what Karine Reed did against UCLA. And I think that's the one you're referring to, Larry. Yeah, that was way worse than what Karine did against USC. So it was definitely roughing the passer. And the fact that the guy that's supposed to be an unbiased announcer is out there just like complaining about the call over and over again, it's like, yo, dude, it wasn't that bad of a call. Chief Watt says, defense played a lot better than last week. Yeah, I mean, they let up a lot of yards. I mean, believe it or not, they actually let up more yards this week than last week. But Chief Watts, I do agree that when we needed stops, they were able to get it done. Chief Watts, also on USC's last drive, why did the clock stop during the pick? Those are confusing situations. I won't tell you whether it was right or not, because as far as I'm aware, once the penalty happens, the clock stops. But maybe that's not accurate. Kyle A says, this reminds me of the 2008 TCU game. It's actually, believe it or not, kind of reminds me of the USC game from last year. Not exactly the same, but it was a turning point. It was when we started to, kind of establish our identity, and that would be pretty awesome. Dustin Hughes says, Oregon, little brother. Mello Marie says, congrats, we're still going to win the Pac-12 before we leave. Boom. DJ and Tay said, Cam is definitely in the conversation for Heisman. I don't think he's winning over Hendon Hooker, but he deserves to be nominated. Yeah, and we still got a lot of good teams on this schedule. A lot of talented rosters we're about to play. This is not going to be a cakewalk. The Pac-12 is great this year, but it'll be opportunities for Cam to step up and show what he's made of and show that he deserves to be in the Heisman conversation. Young Lee says, I'm going to book my flight to Vegas. Go Utes. That might be a little premature, but, I mean, go for it, dude. Coach Anderson says, Vegas, baby. Coach Anderson says, Utah going to the Pac-12 championship, then Rose Bowl again. Larry says, UC offense is definitely impressive. Yeah, I mean, damn. I was impressed a little by our defense, as much as, like, they had a real bad overall showing. I thought they did a really good job of holding that offense. I mean, you could tell Caleb Williams is special. Like, his arm's really, really good. And, maybe this year's not the year that they, explode, but you could feel it, right? That they had a lot of special talent on the field. They could be they are a really good offense right now, but they could have really Let's we are gonna look at this guy, P Solo. We're gonna go ahead and block it. There we go. And you're not here anymore. Uh, yeah. How could you say Cam Rising sucks, bro? That just seems unrealistic to say that Cam Rising sucks. That just feels a little odd. I feel like Cam Rising was straight killing it, dude. Cam Rising looked like a monster all game. There was the only time I was like a little disappointed was on that final drive, and I thought he played a almost perfect game outside of that. Oh, I guess that one touch interception that we got saved on the roughing the passer, but outside of those two things, so he was just throwing these sideline fades on that last drive that just felt so poorly done. Like I was just like, what's that? I mean, I'm not going to focus on that though, because Cam had such a damn good game, dude. Another guy that got involved a lot, Money Parks. I thought he did a pretty good job. 1 carry for 13 yards. And then he had that sick touchdown over the top. That bomb over the middle from Cam. What a nice throw from Cam, dude. That was freaking clean. He just bombs it over the top, and Money Parks catches it. That was so damn nice. Anasazi says, "What game? F yeah, I'm getting too old for these games." Yeah, it's I feel you though. Like it was down to the wire, and you felt like, oh man, this is so intense. That was like, didn't you guys feel like basically that? I mean, at about halftime, like once we got close to scoring, it was like, at the beginning of the third quarter, and once I would say once we got the ball at the beginning of the third quarter, or even when we were driving at the end of the second quarter, you're just on the edge of your damn seat from there on. I mean, that's a classic game. Like that's one of those games where, I don't really rewatch games. I feel like sports are so much more fun watching them live because you don't know what's going to happen. But damn, like I would watch this one back, dude. This is a good time. Jesse Whitaker says, Utah has great players, but they make me question the whole team sometimes. Elaborate on that, Jesse. I'm not sure what you mean there. TJ Builder says, Cam Rising is the GOAT. Kincaid is an absolute monster. So damn proud of the team today. Man, me too. Me too, dog. Let's do a little sneak peek at what we got next. Utah football. Let's take a look at the schedule we got coming up here. I'll just talk about that a little bit. So these next few games we got coming up here. First, Kyle says, rumor has it Tavion took off his pads and left the stadium during the game. Hopefully not true. It was odd that he didn't come back in towards the end of the game. I noticed I didn't see him, but I also remember him close to the end of the game, like getting up in Cam's face, like because he was really excited. But I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything about that, so I won't really comment on it. Sam says, I agree with Howard on the roughing calls, but everyone's getting them now. Yeah, I mean, so I think the thing about the roughing calls is, are you saying that you disagree that it was a roughing call, or you disagree with roughing calls in general? Because I hate targeting calls, right? But when I see a targeting call and they play it, I'm like, yeah, that blows. Like, that sucks. But it's still a targeting call. Like, I know what it should look like. I actually thought you guys got lucky. There was that one that I thought should have been targeting that you guys did not get called on. They reviewed it and they didn't call it, but I did think it was targeting. That one where I forget who the receiver was, but he like caught the pass. I think it was Mekhi Bernard. Yeah, it was Mekhi Bernard. And like the guy just lowers the crown of his helmet and puts it right in his face mask. Like to me, like I don't agree with targeting. I think it's a stupid thing. I mean, I get why it's there. I'm just saying it. To me, I think it's hard to control how you hit people when you're running at full speed. It's kind of a weird thing. But that was targeting to me. I love your commentary. Keep up the great work. Hey, well, thank you so much, Anasazi. And if you haven't already, man, please do like the video. Helps get it out to more Utes fans. I appreciate you commenting in the chat. And If you haven't subscribed to the channel, we talk a lot about Utah Utes football, man. Michael Jordan says, this does put a smile on my face coming from a Sooners fan. I feel that, man. I feel that. Well, Michael Jordan. Good day. Can you believe it? We have Michael Jordan in the chat. You gotta love it. Gotta love it. And congrats to the Sooners on the win today. You guys looked a little better now that you had Gabriel back. Jesse Whitaker says, it's the first few plays of this game situation. I saw some great players, but they were soft overall. I wouldn't say they were soft. I mean, I just don't agree with they were soft. I think they're, at least on defense, definitely not as disciplined as you'd like, but I definitely wouldn't say soft. Oh, Larry, this is the call I'm talking about. The Bernard targeting. I think it was number 10 on USC, and he lowers his helmet. Like I said, I don't love targeting, but that by the rules of targeting, that was targeting. Seriously says Brock Hewitt was crying after the loss. He should be fired for his opinions. So I'm never going to call for anybody to get fired. I know this probably in jest, but people have families and stuff. I never want people to get fired. But I do agree. He was pretty unprofessional. He kind of just kept going on and on about that, which it was roughing the passer. Like, imagine what that guy would have said if he saw the one against UCLA. I feel like in general, the commentary did feel biased towards USC. It makes sense because USC it's the big name. It's the opportunity up until tonight, it was the opportunity, for the Pac-12 to get to the national championship or get to the CFP. But, is what it is. And you guys, please do make sure you guys like the video, comment in the chat, and make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Please do. If you haven't already, I'll count it on this video as well if you guys are interested in doing it. But we're giving out a Chase Hansen signed auto and a Bradley and Nye signed auto. These are both rookie cards, so pretty dope. So if you guys are interested in winning them, all you got to do is like the video, comment, Utah is the best team in the Pac-12. So yeah, like I said, comment Utah is the best team in the Pac-12, and make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Excuse me. If you do all that, you can win the cards. I'm going to announce the winner on Monday when I make next week's video breaking down the next matchup. But take a look here before I get out of here, guys. Washington State next week, finally we get our bye week. That's cool. So I'll probably do a mid-season breakdown talking about the players next week, but we get a bye week and then we're heading to Washington State. Very good team, but should be a win. I mean, it's really, when you look at the rest of the schedule, guys, it's really, there's some landmines here, but you beat Washington State. All you really got to worry about is Oregon. I mean, I'm not stressed about Stanford. I'm not stressed about Arizona. I'm definitely not stressed about Colorado. Jesse says they stepped it up and the whole team came together. Okay. And on that note, guys, I really appreciate all you guys that are watching the video. I always love making these for you guys. And if you guys are Utes fans, I look forward to experiencing the rest of the season with you. The Rose Bowl is right in front of us. It would be awesome to go back there and smack the crap out of UCLA in the conference championship. Seriously, I have never seen a fan base quite like UCLA. They didn't say a word. They didn't say a word on any of my videos before the game. And then the game ends and they just bombard you'd think they were trolls. Like they didn't even listen to the video. It was the weirdest thing. It was like they acted like I was just bagging on UCLA. Like really weird. Larry says peace from Cocoa Beach. Hey Larry, well peace to you as well, man. I hope you enjoy I hope you're safe and enjoying the weather out there. All right, I'll see you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe, do the YouTube thing. I'm out, guys. Have a good night. Go Utes.